Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to The House Always Wins, where the theme of this channel is about getting on the side of the house, be on the right side of the table at the blackjack table. So the right side of the table is of course the house where you're getting invested. Big stocks like this right now, like DraftKings, I'm talking about pretty much daily. Quick screen here of what happened last week. Open up after Memorial Day. Day high 33 dollars. Next day opened up at 34. Next day 35. May 29th opened up 37, and the day high at 39.87. And that's right at the end of the day. Here we're up in after hours. It's up to $40. So rising every day. I got in around IPO time initially, and that was around $18. The last big purchase I had was at 26, and then I waited in a little bit more at 30. I'm probably considering dollar cost averaging each of my monthly income just into this stock, and with some of my other just non-retirement stocks too. I do think some diversification is important, but I think this stock is just been, my opinion, has been so hot, and I knew it so well coming in of how strong the stock was going to be, just because of how good the product is and just how revolutionary it is, and how I believe for the company long term will be really profitable, because I expect them to have low expenses being a mobile company and a mobile platform where their online sportsbook, the online app for the app for the sportsbook, and the DraftKings for when like most of the daily fantasy sports plays too, is going to be so clean and so much better than the competition. And one thing I'm going to talk about later is with the addition of 5G, when that comes around, and how it's going to influence betting, making it brand loyalty going to be more important. And I think DraftKings is going to have the biggest piece of the pie with all their advertising with the NFL and the PGA Tour, and just the growing advertising and fan base they're going to have going forward. The reason I think 5G is going to be so important is because all of the in-sports betting games and everything else is going to be updated live, which means the arbitrage, the difference between different sports books, is going to grow smaller. So the fact that one site's price and the newer information with 5G and everything is going to be updated and more relevant quicker, which means that there's going to be less need to cross-shop, which means people are going to be more confident in a platform that they already know, and I think the winning platform is DraftKings. So I think it's going to be good for the big dogs when 5G comes around. The two quick reasons here for the pops last week in percentages, pretty much almost every day was up about 5%, was the DraftKings announces the redemption of the public warrants. I'm not going to go into too much detail of that, but they're redeeming. When they IPO'd, they had warrant stocks that were quite a bit cheaper than the stock price, and then the stock itself when they went IPO'd, and the redeeming it was good news for investors. And the other kind of interesting one happened later in the week. Was DraftKings is going to acquire and partner with Sport Radar, which kind of is just, I thought this was something that was already known that they were doing, but apparently it was news, and it more investors popped in, and it kind of popped the stock. Was that it just allows people who have over a $0 balance in their account in their sportsbook app will be able to stream live games, which is going to be great for just fans, a fan experience regardless of the stock. It's just going to be more fun for people who are interested in sports betting to be able to watch and stream the games on the app, and it's just going to be a better fan experience for everyone. It's going to be good for the sports organizations themselves. They have more client retention for like things like this mentions Korean baseball, but just thinking in the future, it'll be good for like the MLB and NFL if they're going to have more fans watching their product. It'll be better for DraftKings because it allows people to get live up in information and see how their bets are placing out in real time. The last thing I'm going to finalize this video with, I've got a million topics to get to in other videos, was I'm a big fan of Jim Cramer. He gets a lot of criticism and heat from people, but you listen to just one of the reasons I like him so much is when COVID-19 was about to happen, in the United States. He was when market is at all-time high, going higher and higher every day in January. He was the one who was saying, "Watch what's happening over in China. Schools are what's going to happen to the economy when schools close." He was actually. I know people are going to have a lot of different opinions of him, but he was raising the alarm about the potential downsides of this virus. And I sold it, but to get a larger position in this, an S&P 500 index fund. And index fund investing is great. I think it should be a part of everyone's portfolio. But I sold a huge portion of it when he said, this virus is coming. It's going to be terrible for our economy. I sold about half of it, and I rode the other half, and then I ended up selling it when DraftKings was going to come IPO to get such a big portion in this company. But he also has a Cramer COVID-19 index, which has done really, really well in all of these different stocks he's recommended to invest in while the market's down. And I think he gives good, safe, fundamental stocks. Like, he's bullish on ones like Costco and Lowe's. And I think those are really great investments for just the general, once he can condone to the public. Like, he can't really condone you going out there and, I don't know, buying penny stocks and stuff. So overall, I think his experience in everything, I know he has a lot of criticisms, but here's just his lightning round on this one, DraftKings. And he's had Jason Robbins, the CEO of DraftKings, which I think he's just a really smart guy, this Jason Robbins. He just seems really well. His temperament's really good, and I think he really knows what's going to be best for this company. So I think DraftKings has a winner here with the CEO. But this is just real quick, Jim Cramer's lightning round on DraftKings, and I just think this endorsement's a big deal. So here it is.
Visionary Ryan in Mississippi. Ryan.
Booyah, Mr. Cramer.
Booyah.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Okay.
Shout out to my buddy Hunter. He told me about this awesome show. Look, I have a stock that's up 100% in the past month, and with stores starting to slowly come back, what do you think about DraftKings?
Jason Robbins, I was at the Super Bowl with him, is a terrific guy. And this DraftKings is a representation of the market, of sports coming back. I am not going to go against this guy. I think this guy's got a business model to beat the band. I am with the DraftKings rally. That's right, I'm with it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of the lightning round.
All right, so that's it there. The Bulls are out in full force. I think this endorsement's actually a pretty big deal. It kind of means a lot to me, having invested in it since the IPO and still being invested now. I think it's good. I don't. Other people have asked about a lot of speculative stocks and some other ones, and for him to be backing on this, which is a brand new company without a lot of 40 years of histories like a Campbell's Soup or General Electric and all those other companies, I think it's a big deal. And I expect the stock to pop again next week, but that's all I'm going to leave you with, you guys, today. Go ahead and subscribe, and I want this channel to be. I've had some really fun conversations with a few people who've commented, but I want to hear what some of your guys' comments on when you think the stock will plateau, at what price, and what time of the year. Is it going to be volatile in the next couple months? I kind of want to hear what your guys' thoughts are, because I've got my own. I think this stock rallies for a couple months more, especially with the start of the NFL. But I want to hear some other opinions and not just get into some groupthink here with just myself. But go ahead and subscribe, get those notifications if you want to hear more about DraftKings Daily. All right, see you guys.